Please excuse the noise of the fan. It's connected to the light. This is a bathroom, and that's a tub. And I want to talk to you about merino wool. Please ignore the mop, and the wool, and the buckets. This is merino that I just got recently, and when it was wet, and I washed it twice, and it was beautiful. Then it dried, and what I found out, and I haven't had pure merino like this for a few years, and it probably did this before. Some areas are wonderful, and other areas are very heavy in lanolin, which then gets very stiff. And so when you go to drum card it, which I've done here, you see how that's not going to be the easiest fiber to spin because there are still clumps? So what I did, now, in fact, I think I washed it 3 times. Now, merino is a beautiful, beautiful wool, but it is one of the breeds that is highest in lanolin. Now, generally, I wash any raw wool 3 times. I did that with this, now that I think about it. But look at this. See the color of the water? That's not dirt. That's all lanolin. And what I think happened was the day that I washed this, I didn't have the water quite hot enough because I didn't want to felt the wool. Merino, you can think of Lion Brand Fisherman wool and how it's wonderful for felting. That's because it's mostly a merino blend, and this can shrink and felt very quickly. So I didn't have it as hot as I normally have it, and look what was still in the wool. So about an hour ago, I took one of these bats, and I threw it in that tub there, and re-washed it in hot, hot water, because I figured I could just ruin one bat if it felted. It did not felt, and much more lanolin came out, and I have already started to recard it, and it's much better than this. So it's just a little lesson in knowing your wool. And the reason I'm making this video, you know, a lot of people that do this might remember this all the time anyway. But if you're going to focus on socks, you're going to be running into merino wool. And merino socks are like the softest. They're not going to be the strongest wool, but they're the softest. You could add nylon fiber to make it stronger, and you would still have the softness. But if you're going to specialize in merino, you can see. So this is a 4th washing, and it did not felt at all. And this was boiling hot. And that will card up better than it would have the first time. So I had about 3 pounds of this, and I was trying to get it all washed and dried at one time. What I will do now is dump that lanolin out, put clean water in again, and wash it again. And it should be almost clear that time. But that's what lanolin looks like in the water. And lanolin itself is wonderful, except if you leave it in your wool, you're going to end up with clumps that are very difficult to drum card or hand card.